Sorry about that. 1 minute late. Can I get a confirmation that you can hear me? And bonjour, Randy. Hello to Fred and Ski Lane, Lisa, and Sheila. Hey, Ruth. All right, heard. Good. Okay. Loud and clear. Awesome. All right. I am getting our, not 15 minutes, but let's get 25. So, if you're just joining for the first time, my name is Andrew. I'm a certified mindfulness meditation coach. Some folks will know me as the moderator and sometimes guest host of the Do Nothing Project when it was hosted on this here fine platform of YouTube. And let's see, we do a 25-minute sit on Wednesdays with mostly light guidance, where we do a little bit of a technique, some things out of the unified mindfulness system usually, and then 5 minutes of what's called just sitting or do nothing is the technique. So the cat knows me. That's all I'm going to take away from that, is the cat knows me. So I didn't say hello to Paul. And let's see, to Cheryl as well. Hello. Hey, Bob Daniel. Welcome. Finally made it. That's awesome. Just in time for daylight savings to mess everything up. And hello to Marjorie and Brian. Hello. Hola, Lynn and Bill J. Let's see. Did I catch? I think I got most everybody. All right. Yeah, so let's see. We're at the normal time, but we're about to enter. So we got about another 4 weeks at this time slot. And then Saban, who's not here today, and Snowma and Aimless, the folks that join in Arizona, also known as the Time Void. It won't change for us, but it'll shift for everybody else. So just preparing everyone for the DST coming up. Let's see. And then I've been gallivanting around watching hockey, and I got to see a Utah Mammoth game in Salt Lake where they played the Seattle Kraken. And then this last Friday, so not quite a week ago, I went to Seattle with my partner Lisa, and we got to see the Ducks play the Kraken. So I am now up to 25 NHL cities that expansion teams indeed. So I'm getting very, very close to the 32 now, which is super, super great. And then let's see, what else? I think that's mostly it, which also means in 25, so it went back down to 23 when the Coyotes became the Mammoth and moved away. So I got that back. I have been to Vancouver. So I think if I can, not that anybody cares, and this has nothing to do with meditation, but I have seven cities left. So it's Buffalo. So Buffalo, Winnipeg are the two northernmost, and then Tampa, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and then the last is Las Vegas. Pinky finger is Las Vegas. So Las Vegas is the easiest for me to get to, but the ticket prices are substantial sometimes. So lots of people fly to Vegas and then they want to go see hockey. Welcome to Maureen. All right, so so what are we going to do? I have a striker to invite, the Bell. You saw me put 25 minutes on the clock. We're going to do here out. And so we can think about, in the unified mindfulness, we think of all of our experience. We can sort it into that's vision or mental image. So that's category is C. Mental image is C in, and then vision is C out. we can think about our sound or auditory system. Hear out, hear in is mental talk. And then, although mental, I don't know why I think mental talk is like right there, but it could be here too, or here, I guess. And then the body, physical body sensations. So feel out is the physical body sensations, and then feel in is emotional body sensations. And so what we're going to do today, our focus range is going to be here, but we're going to use here out as is what I'm going to offer. So okay, I will consult you about Winnipeg. I Winnipeg is potentially going to be the hardest for me to, or it seems like the most difficult of what is left. So, okay. So back to techniques. Sorry, if you aren't looking at the chat, it just seems like I spontaneously said that for no reason, but there's a comment in chat. Exhibition games count. To the question, do exhibition games count, Paul? Yes, they do. I've only seen one exhibition game, and that is St. Louis versus Tampa Bay. So our technique, we'll look at our focus range is hear out, and then that notion would be sounds around us. And then optionally, if you wanted to work with mental talk, you could, but I'm gonna stick with hear out. So we can think about that as if you have sounds around you, being able to focus on the sounds around you. If my sounds in my environment bleed into your environment, that is another opportunity for those to be practice oriented. So hello, Ronnie, and I hope you're staying warm. Yeah, I hope everyone has managed to shovel out from under the dumping that everybody got. Welcome, Gabrielle. Because it looked like the polar vortex was indiscriminate in how much snow it was flooding folks with. But yes, easily distracted by hockey is 100% true. So that's where we're headed with our technique. I'm going to get us on board. But yeah, so if you're just joining, you didn't miss anything other than I recounted the cities, the NHL hockey cities that I have not seen a hockey game in yet. We've got 25 minutes on the clock. And let's begin. So hopefully you've consumed your baked goods. You're ready to establish a posture that helps you be both relaxed and alert. I'll be focused on the seated posture, either on a chair, a bench, or a cushion, but you could be lying down, standing, or walking. I trust that you will be able to adjust the guidance to fit any of those postures. When we sit, we're endeavoring for a spine that is naturally upright. So we're sort of aiming for upright without being uptight. And tip the jaw ever so slightly down. Just check in on the shoulders, down and back. Shoulders over the hips. The feet arranged on the floor in a way that is comfortable. Hands palms down on your thighs or arranged in your lap. Then just taking a quick sampling of what's the inner weather like. We're not chasing away any of the mental states that we're starting our sit with. We're just trying to kind of see what the vibe is. Checking in to see if there's any tension. Again, not to shoo it away, but to acknowledge. And then finally, a few deliberate breaths. Slow and low is the tempo we're going for. Breathing in through the nose allows us to slow that breath down, sinking low into the belly. And as the inhale turns around and becomes the exhale, seeing if we can extend it and even accentuate it. So you're welcome to sort of just use this real basic, thin slicing of experience, just sitting or sitting and knowing that you're sitting. For the sit, I will offer hear out again, focusing on the sounds around you. Hear out is a noting practice. Notice where our attention is focused or which particular sound our attention is focused on. Soak our attention into that, or soak our focus in. And optionally label hear, Hear. And being okay with the fact that our focus range, we're going to get kind of pulled away, or maybe even without noticing right away, wandering off, coming back to hear out. Doing that with a welcoming and care. It's very easy to make every one of those noticings into a problem, and they're really something to rejoice. So I'll let you explore hear out. I'll check in a bit. And it's just a reminder that the labeling when we're noting is optional. For some, the label can seemingly trigger a here in, and then there's this back and forth of switching back to here out, and then labeling, and then here in. If that's happening, then you can see if dropping the label, continue with noting, if that helps. And you can go the other end of the spectrum. You can repeat the label if that helps. You feel like that keeps you in the focus range with closer contact. And the last thing, if you're in an environment where spoken labels could be helpful, you can always try that. It gives you the ability to dial up or down. And just remembering that you have the ability to reset and begin again at any time. You can stretch back up, settle back in, take a few deep breaths, and then begin again. And if you catch yourself getting frustrated, you can always try the hand on the heart just as a felt sense. Or switching to a feel space for a little bit of time, either feel in or feel out, and then coming back to hear out. So a few options for you, or just keep on keeping on. And this is your invitation to take our technique and put it off to the side with care and to shift into do nothing. So, with do nothing, we're just sitting, letting go of any intention to control our attention. And if we've let go of what seems like an intention to control our attention and it keeps coming back up, just acknowledging that that's kind of what the mind wants to do. An example of that is that I will be sitting and the mind just wants to start counting breaths. And I let go of it and it starts back up. So shifting into or coasting with do nothing. I'll invite the bell to signal the end of our sit. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for making time on Wednesday to be here today or watch a recording. May the fruits of our practice be for the benefit of all beings. May our actions be for the benefit of all beings. Humanity's bow. All right. You are super, super welcome, Gabrielle and Ruth and Brian. I had offered some folks a free pass for a couple months. Maybe it was 1 month or maybe it was 3 months for the Waking Up app. If folks are curious, you missed that and you're curious, the Waking Up app is doing a 14-day meditation challenge that starts on the 1st. So that's Sunday. If you email me at the email that I just put in chat, I'll send you a code to join that. I believe that it is don't have to put in information for credit card, things like that. Yes, and as Paul's pointing out, don't forget to like, subscribe, all of those things. We're super happy you were here, Bob. It's great to have you. And you are welcome, Randy. So Waking Up is a 14-day thing. That's on the 1st. There's also the Real Happiness Meditation Challenge with Sharon Salzberg. There is a donation requested, but at the very bottom, I think you can offer, or you can join for free. But there's a donation, like the first thing that it prompts you for is a donation. And then I think I've posted that before, but I think it is Real Happiness. I'll grab not that Sharon knows who I am, but that may not be the link, but it might get you there. I think that might work, but if you're interested and that doesn't work, email me and I'll get you a real link. So that is for the 28 days of February. And I think Sharon runs that pretty much every year. I think it was originally content that was built for a startup company called Happify, and they've just kept it going. Could we do meditation cards in February? We could, by request. I have my cards. And then I can't sell the cards, but some folks who had subscribed to for the annual for 2025 for Substack, I sent them. I had sent them my prototype version of the cards as an honorarium, so I try to say that correctly is so that I'm not selling the cards because I don't own the names of those. But Substack is there. I am not posting very often, but check that out. Things may randomly appear there. I'm working on a meditation about working with critical thoughts. And then I have been I've been attending meetings and stuff and using an app called Mindshift Recovery. And I'm working on something that will go there eventually for that. And then I'm just finishing a new book that came out on Tuesday called The Way of Excellence. And one of the chapters in The Way of Excellence is on care. And there's a real overlap with the author of The Way of Excellence, Brad Stulberg, his view of care and Jeff's view of care. So if I could magically get Jeff and Brad together to have a conversation about care, I would love to do that. But I don't know if that's going to happen. So those are 3 things that may randomly appear at Substack at some point. Yeah. And then some folks have asked about the ability to donate. And so at some point I will get a donation link that's available. And so you can donate if you want. You don't have to at all. But that's a question that I get, and I usually pass that on when I get that question. And some people have asked, why don't I just put it on the description? So we'll start doing that for the live streams. Yeah, that would be a good point. The Mind Body Adventure Pod. Although he's not a meditation teacher, he's kind of in the philosopher coach perspective, but maybe there's a coach exercise that he could walk people through. But yeah, that would be that's a good point, Ruth. That's true. They have had lots of different guests. So oh, hey. Sorry, Johnny. Well, we've got it recorded, so you can do it. It's here out. So it's here out in all of the amazingness. So that's our technique for today. I keep thinking that I'm gonna start posting. And thank you for checking in, Johnny. I appreciate that. I keep thinking I'm gonna put the technique that we do in the description. I don't get a lot of questions about that. Sometimes people are really comfortable with just like kind of hitting the roulette wheel on this. So I've noticed that some things will come through. But yeah, I've been playing around. There was I think I've addressed this, but there's another question that came up last week around so I just spent a bunch of time talking about how Substack, I mentioned Substack. I'm trying to just put blog stuff on Substack. But the live stream is staying here, so not moving it. So just that's a question I get very so often. All right, you're dangerously close to the top of the hour. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the people that hit the thumbs up and liked this. If you haven't subscribed, yeah, the chat here is better. I agree, Paul. And then if you aren't subscribed, then you can change that by hitting subscribe. And then if you want to get an update when this actually goes live, you can click on the bell. And if you want email a quick newsletter, whatever's on my mind on Tuesdays, and then a reminder on Wednesdays, you can send an email to the email that I'm putting in chat, and I will add you to the list. Hope everyone is able to remain shoveled out and have your walkways appropriately salted and can stay warm, as Gabrielle is offering. Have a great rest of your week. I'm going to try to be there at the Substack for the early chat check-in that I think is starting to happen now for Do Nothing Project. Take care, everybody. Bye now.